Oh, deep breath, right? As we arrive in this moment together. I always just smile seeing all of us come together from like literally all over the world, devoting this time to ourselves to be together with others who are on this path of loving themselves into becoming. It's a beautiful thing, right? We are not alone in our journey. We have each other week to week and in the other spaces we participate in. It's a beautiful thing. And I thank you for being here with me. And I hope you'll thank yourself for making this time for yourself. Just an extra second of soaking it up. Because we're at kind of a pivotal moment in life, it seems. And this year of massive astrological events, several of them going on, giving us all kinds of shifts and openings to take advantage of and to move through, shaking it up. Not necessarily a bad thing, can be a little uncomfortable, but also, I think we talked about this on Sacred Circle last week or maybe the week before, but like, it's not just change bringing bad things or losing things that we love. It's walking away from things that are okay and towards things that are extraordinary. So that's what I'm feeling is this, yes, this change, yes, this transformation, yes, this death and rebirth that can feel a little dramatic inside of our body, our beautiful body that just wants to stay the same and keep us safe, please, and thank you. Okay, come on, come along with me as we go. Um, and yeah, I think, we'll get into, there's a couple astrological transits that I want to talk about that are coming up this upcoming week. But we also had Pluto station retrograde a few days ago, and it'll go back into Capricorn. We talked all about that last time. But like, it's really giving us an opportunity to be with what is it that, I've had more of my true power come online this year, right? Like more of me is showing up in every single moment. And that means that the inevitable next step is that I'm leaving something behind. I'm leaving behind the old way that I used to show up because now I'm showing up as the fuller version of myself over and over and over. And to be with the unsettled feeling of like, yes, I know that I want to leave this part behind. I'm not fully versed on what the new is that's coming. Like, I really don't know what my next step is supposed to be. I don't have a clear vision. Come on, like, let me hang on to the old until I can see the new, and then I'll go over there. And I feel like this year is really not giving us that option. Like it's all about how much are you able to know that like that's not it, right? That's the part that isn't working. That's the part that's not aligned. And I am leaving it behind. No, I don't know what I'm going to replace it with yet. No, I don't have a plan about like exactly how it's going to work out, but I do know that that's not it. And so let me leave it behind and make the space for whatever it is that the universe wants to co-create with me. And so there is this limbo kind of period, this liminal space where we aren't yet the new thing, but we know we're not the old thing. And what can we do inside that space? I'm a doer. I love action, right? Like love, love it, love it. And I think there are things that we can do. Our daily self-care practice, our daily practice of working with our rituals, working with our magic, working with how is it that you do take good care of yourself? What are the gifts that you know you have that you already are familiar with? And how do you practice honing those on a daily basis? Right? Like it reminds me of, really getting clear on What I want to be is a professional public speaker. That's what I want. And that happened after I was invited to give this keynote speech. And in the come down of that event, I was like really depressed because I'm like, how long is it going to be until somebody asks me to walk back out on a stage? Like, I want that to be tomorrow. And how long did it take for this opportunity to come along? How long is it going to take for the next one? And I got so sad and like, don't feel bad for me at all because in that sadness, this like fed upness rose to the surface and was like, I'm not waiting on anybody to give me a stage. I'm going to give myself a stage. And I started my YouTube channel journey, started like making videos, start giving myself a microphone. I don't know if anybody wants to listen, but I'm going to practice my craft. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the thing that I know I want to do, even though nobody's wanting to pay me for it. No one wants to hire me for it. Doesn't matter. This is what I want to be doing. So let me do that work, even though nobody wants to commission that work yet. Right? Because, yeah, practicing what we want to be doing, that's a valid step that nobody needs to tap you on the shoulder and be like, yeah, you should go ahead and start practicing your speaking skills so we can get you over here. Like, dude, when they call, I'm practiced. I'm ready. I practiced my stories. I practiced my message. Like I practiced already. So I'm ready, ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. So there's a lot we can do even long before we have a clear picture of like exactly what the next action step, the next chapter is going to look like. Um, and I just want to say, like, a common humanity moment that, like, it's totally normal for the thoughts, like we talked about in the worthiness habit yesterday, like, the mind and body want us to stay the same. So when we start to transform, the thoughts are going to come up, like arguing with us or talking us out of it or trying to pull us back into the known. And that's their job. And that is normal. So to be with that and even if, like some days it's like, I just can't get out from under the storm cloud. Like it follows me around. It's like all up on my head and I just can't get away from it. Wake up tomorrow morning, try again. Go back to your journal, go back to your content that you know is going to uplift you, go back to your practices that you know are going to help you feel better. Try again tomorrow. Okay. So, like, losing a day in the process, like, did you really lose it? Or is that part of what needs to be recognized? Like, we were talking about, like, our resistance so often is our inner child being scared. And so to silence that and be like, I don't have time for that. I need to run for it. Like, we do have time. We have time to hear that part of us out. And sometimes that takes a day. Sometimes it takes a month, a whole season, and that's all okay. It's all part of the process. And I think about how much I've shared in my journey and the parts that people really connect to. And it's like if I hadn't hibernated for 3 months, if I hadn't been through the depression, if I hadn't stared into the abyss of like, I don't know anything, like if I hadn't done that part and like really been with it, what is my story even about? What am I even offering to people? So those are not wasted or lost time to be with the darkness. Okay. The dark and the light, we talked about that too, like how it gives birth to each other. All right. So, like, there's room for both in your process of becoming, and we are becoming. Change is afoot. Okay. It's happening, it's underway. We are already transforming so much. When you even think about a year ago, when you even think about 2 months ago, dude, so much can happen. And especially the astrology of this year, it's like 1 minute to the next could be like the new chapters now opened up, and you know right what it is. Right? When that moment hits, it's not going to be a long, dragged out unfolding. It's like 5 minutes later, and like your whole life looks different. So to even think about like this time next week, your whole life could look different, right? Like it can come online and open up at any moment. And to what can we control? We wake up in the morning, we sit down at our practices, practice our magic, love ourselves, hone our craft. That's the part that we have control over. So that's what I wanted to offer as a grounding for today. And I would love to hear what comes up from that, and or what's going on with you guys today on your leading edge. What are you bringing with you? And as always, we'll listen for the patterns and the common themes of what brings us together today to have this conversation. I'm sure it will become evident as we take a listen. So I'll stop there and open it up to you guys. Who would like to go first? So what you've just witnessed is the opening grounding that I offered at one of our sacred circles. I host Sacred Circle every Saturday and bring people together from all over the world in an intimate setting to have a conversation where we get to practice being safe with other people, offering our authentic self, whatever that looks like on that day. All energy is allowed. The conversation really does follow our leading edge. We also get to practice being vulnerable and speaking up and using our voice and taking up space. This is a very open conversation, and everyone is invited to speak and share, and we listen and we find the pattern that is presenting itself on that day. It never fails that there is one, and that the people who are there on that given day are helping to contribute to the pattern of what every single person needs to hear. So if that sounds like something that you would like to experience for yourself, I would love to have you there. Either joining in on the Sacred Circle community membership, that's $45 a month, or you can check out and drop in at a specific Sacred Circle whenever you're available, or if you just want to try one before you sign up for the whole shebang. You can also get a day pass for $15, and the link for both of those is down in the description. Again, that's every single Saturday. We go about 90 to 100 minutes typically. 10 to 11:30 a.m. Central Time every Saturday. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me at owningauthenticity@gmail.com. There is also a link in the description box to sign up for my newsletter so that you never miss anything that I'm offering. Lots of fun things coming through the newsletter, and you'll always be up to date on whatever the next fun thing is that I'm coming up with now. Until next time, I hope you are having as much community and connection and safe space in your life as you desire. And if you are looking for more, this is one option that you could explore.